Hello, welcome back to Oolykee Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic tutorial series, and today we're gonna be building a new city from scratch in realistic mode. So let's get cracking. Today we're gonna be building a city from scratch. Everything is gonna be in a realistic mode. It's gonna be as hard as it can. We're gonna be building everything on my favorite map, Yeniseisk, and you know that on this map we don't even have electricity connections, no railroad connections, any of that stuff, so we're gonna have to build power plant, the whole infrastructure. We're gonna finish it in about a year and a half. So let's get started. Okay, let's cover this. Most of it, everything is populated already, just the vehicles are just refueling. We paused for now. I'm just gonna tell you what we planned here. This big thing is a power plant. We're gonna focus on that from the beginning because it's gonna take a while for it to be finished. We have 7 construction offices. We're gonna talk about them. We have over here 2 distribution offices and a fuel station. One of the distribution offices is the fueling one. We have another fueling station over here with another 4 open storages, so that will be for steel, bricks, prefab panels and boards. We have another distribution office that is delivering these materials straight away. So we're gonna talk about first construction is you need more vehicles. You're gonna need to construct yourself. I will do it at 6 vanilla construction offices. Every building that we're gonna build here is vanilla, even though Oolykee is not friend of vanilla. I like mods. We're gonna talk about the construction offices. Dumpers, you're gonna need even more of them. It's just maximum you can use now is 4 per construction office. 2 of them, that means 8. We're gonna have mixers, source the materials from the border for mixers. For these guys, you have 2 different gravel storages that are being brought in, gravel that is being brought in with big 25-ton Belarusian dumper trucks. So I set it up this way. This is going to alleviate some pressure from the border and also is going to double your loading capacity for your dumper trucks. So for me, this works the best. If you guys know any better way, comment section. Continuing on, we have 2 excavators. I suggest forbid them to build footpaths, factory connections and roads, especially roads. We're going to be constructing roads straight away. Forbid them to do so because it's gonna cause some problems for you because excavators can go and work on the roads, but they are much slower working on the roads than bulldozers. So forbid them to work on the roads, footpaths and factory connections, and 1 covered hull and 1 flatbed. Now give them all resources for covered hull and flatbed. A covered hull is going to be from the border, mechanical components and electrical components, and your construction materials are from these 4 storages that we have here. The next construction office number 5 will be 2 bulldozers, 2 Stalinets bulldozers and 2 open hull trucks. Open hull trucks are not to transport the vehicles, as neither is this one. So let them roam freely because nobody can move fast on these mud roads. Initially we're going to be building a lot of roads, so let them just do their own thing. So of course, source the materials. In this case, we only need construction materials. There's no covered hull. These are 2 flatbed trucks. That would be 3 flatbed trucks, 1 covered one, 2 Stalinets, 2 excavators, 4 mixers, and 8 dumper trucks. Here, this is Oolykee's setup. If you don't know what this is, Frankie Brulin, if you're watching this, remind me to put Mr. Dennis's video about the construction cranes and why to use them and why Oolykee is going to be using cranes only for show rather than for functionality. So it's gonna be 3 microbuses and 1 V3S Praga crane. So V3S crane and 3 microbuses. 3 microbuses and 1 crane. And this is gonna be manually assigned to constructions, so we can on our own decide what's gonna be constructed. Okay, next step is gonna be finishing these construction offices and reusing some of these over here. So let's meet them. Okay, bada boom, bada bim. We have our 6 construction offices set up. I did a little bit of construction. We're gonna cover that as well. This one is gonna be called footpath or foot. This is the footpath office. This is going to be doing automation, and it's only going to be covering the footpaths around our city and this area. So we can put it in auto search, but shut off everything else except the footpaths. Put it to 3 kilometers. Put it a source of gravel. The closer one is fine. And the people, workers, we're gonna get them from the border crossing. I'm gonna put 4 of each dumper trucks. That would be the smaller dumper trucks. These are the ones that are the only one necessary because the gravel required is pretty low. And the second one, we have a road construction office. It only has bulldozers, nothing else. In the future, it should have 3 bulldozers, 3 open hull trucks, 3 rollers, and 3 pavers. That's it, nothing else. Transportation only transports covered hull and open hull stuff. That would be 4 of these, and the border crossing, you can assign it respectively. And then we have a groundwork. Groundwork is concrete and excavators. That's it. The trucks are here to transport the excavators. I have only 2 versus 3. We can go for 3 for 3, but I think this is fine for now. I'm gonna do a little bit of testing. Dumper trucks 1 and 2. I separated them. Usually in a normal gameplay I would have only 1 dumper truck construction office, but since we have an issue with a lot of gravel and only 1 border crossing that is quite busy, I have 2 of them. They're not too expensive, so I don't think that's a big deal. We are building the oil power plant. We're gonna build coal heating. We're gonna build the water processing plant. We're gonna build the bus stop. We have electricity infrastructure for our city and for our industrial zone. That's going to be around here initially. And we have our city. Right, let's talk about the city. So, the most efficient buildings, or at least the nicest fitting that I find for a city that's going to be just over 1,000 people, capacity initially. Of course, it can grow to multiple times that number. I found these ones. These are the flats prefab with 75 people. They, if you go and align yourselves with a grid, they fit perfectly as the lower building that I'm going to show you as well. The same length of the building, more or less. They fit on the same area. So I think it looks really, really organized, nice and tidy. So we have 3 of these tall buildings, 75 people each. So times 3, that would be 675 people in these buildings. And then we have these bigger buildings. They are 138 people each. So we have only 3 of them. So that would be 300, 408-ish people here, so that will be 1,083 people can live, workers can live here, plus children and all that stuff. We have a small police station over here. We have a big university. Unfortunately, this is the cheapest university you can build. That's technical university. Always build that one because you're going to need it for researching, for basic industries like chemistry. We have the utility center. We're going to talk about the water, and we're going to talk about heating. We have the school. We have a cinema. We have the pool, and we have a kindergarten. Kindergartens usually have low capacity, and potentially we're gonna need multiple of them, so they can be a little bit outside of the city, so it's not a problem. Plus we have a courthouse. City center, of course, needs to have a city hall, and we have the hospital over here. Fire station is gonna be over here in the industrial zone, just so it can put out fires over here, and we're gonna be supplying it with workers through this station. We're gonna be upgrading the roads first before we build a bus station, but that's gonna come down the line. Okay, that's the basics of it. Okay, and the last thing that we are constructing is the 4 systems that are really important for the city functioning. That would be sewers, water, heat, and electricity. So let's start with the first one. Let's go with the easy one. It's heating plant. We have heating plant. We need to assign the dumper truck that's going to be delivering coal over here. It's going to be working when we deliver people. It's going to be sending hot water over here to this heat exchanger, and hopefully this is going to be heating our city. We have a little bit decent amount of buildings over here, so I'm pretty sure we're going to need additional heat exchanger, but even one of them is going to be doing okay job from preventing our people to die, but definitely next investment should be another heat exchanger. Second thing is electricity. Electricity for the city is the Easy part, we have a power plant that's going to be working. We have here enormous amount of connections that I'm building. Usually you need them. We have a big high voltage power cable, 80 megawatts I believe, the connections, and then we have smaller 10 megawatts here connecting to these two transformer stations. They're going to be connected only with underground cables. There's one overground cable connecting backwards, so it goes. This electricity, we only have one cable going to the city that should be supplying electricity to our city. Again, this is going to be close to maximum capacity, so I suggest building another one, and probably we're going to need another one pretty soon, but it should be giving us at least basic things that our people need in order to survive. The third thing that we have is where we come into new complex things. That would be sewage. Sewage would be one of the things that we are building at the moment, so we have the sewers. This is collection where the sewer is being collected, and we have the first switch. This is always good to have because you can have additional connections if you are extending your sewage network. We have one of the sewage pumps because elevation is a little bit between these two is a little bit off. And then we have no sewage pumps pumping it all the way here, all the way here, all the way here. I connected it with several sewage switches just because if we need to connect it to this outlet. And then everything goes out over here directly into the water, so we don't have any problems with... we're not going to be recycling anything at the moment because it costs chemicals. Later when we start earning money we would probably do that. One thing I skipped regarding the electricity, we have overhead electricity hoses going all the way next to the road here to this switch that we're going to be constructing. I just need to connect it to the road. If we go over here and connect it to the road, it should be constructed now. And two offsets of electricity with the smaller cables going, one of them to this substation, the other one going across the road all the way to this substation, which is going to be powering our outlet, sewage outlet. The last thing we have is the water system. The water system, I have the last pipe here that I did not connect. I'm gonna do it right now. That will be the pipe over here because I probably didn't make a decision which one I wanna connect it to. Let's go with the first one. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper, so we can always go in the opposite direction. So if we build it from here to here, and then from here all the way close to our pumping stations, you can see that we have a problem with the depth. If we go from this side and go a little bit lower and then a little bit higher, we're gonna be just under the pipe. There we go. So the water system from the beginning goes here next to the river. We don't have the top water intake. We have the underground pumping station, which should have around 95, probably is gonna go down to 94% quality. It goes to the first pumping stations, and these pumping stations are important. Build as many of them as you can. Please do not use the switches. Water switches are not worth it. They're just annoying and they cause more problems than they're good for. If you need a water switch that gives you 3 additional connectors, just use the big water pumping station. It needs electricity but also creates better pressure for your people. People come first. We need to connect this one to the road so it can be constructed. There we go. Perfect. It goes all the way to our water treatment plant, to another switch, to our water storage. Have the water storage because this small water well does not require any workers to operate. This does. So if you have lower amount of workers, you might have an issue with clean water, but that's why you're gonna have this tank. Just in case you don't have enough workers working for a moment, this is gonna give you a little bit of buffer until the next bus arrives and brings your people to work. If this is a long-term issue, nobody can save you. 3 division, blame them. And then you have the pumping station going to the city and another pumping station pumping it to this pumping station, and from here is distributed around the city. So this is our underground done. Let's go and finish construction of all of this and let's see where we stand. In 2 days in-game, it's gonna be exactly 15 months when we started this game. So 15 months it took us to build this city. We have city hall still being constructed. I forgot to build secret police, so we are constructing that as well. We have populated our town with I'm gonna just show you this. 639 immigrants. 639 immigrants. At the moment we have 2 deaths. I'm not sure if they're related to our city that we had over here, or is it related to the couple of villagers we had around in the villages that I did not use. But I suggest always using those if you can. They're uneducated and you have to educate them and this kind of stuff, so not always a benefit having those locals working. Anyway, we have a shopping center. It's operating. We have everything here. We have a pub working. We have everything there. We have a school. It requires a little bit more workers, so you need to balance that manually. We have university. I believe we should have some people, some students going to university as well. We have pool working. Sorry, this is cinema working. We have a pool working. We have a courthouse without anything happening here, so I will not put any workers in the courthouse. We have police. Here we go, investigation of the first crimes. I believe we can lower that even further. I will put some of the people in the courthouse so we can start working on the cases. Can we go less? Yes, we can. 2 judges and staff, and yeah, I'm gonna be balancing this for a couple of months, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen with our little beautiful country. So let's meet back in just a second for you. And here we go, the final verdict. This is more or less 1 month before 2 years since we started this game. This is the result. We're building another kindergarten because this one is running at capacity. We have almost 191 college-educated people. I think you need around 100. Happiness is a little bit lower than I would like it to be, but that's due to us not importing the college-educated workers and having to educate our own workers. We could have set up the bus line to the border to deliver some of the foreign professors and stuff, but I decided against it, so I think it's pretty okay like this. We have some prisoners here that we can utilize and use them to work elsewhere. At the moment, I don't want to do that. I think we have enough workers working everywhere. Everything, I build additional heat exchanger, we build additional substation just to have better coverage. There's no issues. Happiness needs to be addressed, it's growing. We build a monument to increase the loyalty. Loyalty is around 50%. We have the you can see here, it did drop initially, but that's again because low amount of college-educated people, which we are changing at the moment. We went from 60 something to now we have 91, and we are educating even further. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna this settlement, our little beautiful town, will have no problem growing. That's it. Let's cover the financial side of the things. We have the 1.1 million amount owned. It was 1.2 altogether, let's say 1.2 million additional money that we borrowed. We have another 1.2 million to borrow, so that's not a problem. We can repay all of that. Again, probably the best thing would be to start doing some of the manufacturing, like clothing, reprocessing of, let's say, oil or any import-based economy. We can start here. This map that I'm playing over here, it doesn't have a lot of resources. Farming would be another thing. I did not prepare this for future development for industries. This was just the presentation how much city costs, what the growth is. Oh, by the way, growth, I forgot to mention that. So since the beginning, we imported 639 workers, like we said initially, and we had 386 births, and we had 67 deaths, 6 escapes. Again, it was a little bit something regarding cold, and we already resolved this, so happiness should skyrocket now, and everything should work perfectly fine. 17 unemployed people. Also, that means 114 plus 40 not working due to no childcare. So we would have 150 additional workers. So some industry that can employ that workers, we can do it now. We can straight away start producing stuff, let's say clothing or something else. If we do a research on chemistry, we can even start doing chemistry and export chemicals. Whatever you wish, we can do after this. But this settlement functions. Took us 2 years. You can definitely do this much faster. And it cost us initial million. Was it million? Or yeah, initial 1 million and 1.2 million in loans. But we built all the buildings vanilla. I do not play like this. I play with mods. I play with a lot of mods. I think it's unrealistically big, some of the stuff that we have over here. So I suggest if you're gonna play something like this, play with mods, not with vanilla. So that's it. I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna say that I really enjoyed making this. It took me 50-60 hours of gameplay in order to resolve this, because I did a lot of testing. So I really hope that you guys can learn something from this and that you find it entertaining. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, ring it, comment section, hit it. And if you want to support the channel, I have the description of the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye.